All right, guys. So today we're drawing a Massey Ferguson 150. A little bit different. I'm actually going to do like the full scene. Drawing the mountains, drawing the barn. Really like that barn. I don't know why. It's a picture from Tennessee. Um, that's what we're going to be drawing. So I already got the outline done. We're just going to dig into it. So this might end up being a part one, part two type deal. I'm not really sure. We'll see how long and how far I get. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Um, Never really drawn mountains before with charcoal, so we'll see if it turns out. How hard could it be, right? I'm using a little bit uh, harder charcoal pencil here in the background, and then when I get into the tractor, I'll use some softer stuff that hopefully come out a little darker. So that's the thought, at least. Hey, there's Groovy Ideas with Glenn. How you doing, Glenn? If you like what I do, you should go follow Glenn. He's on TikTok right there. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. I see Yogurt's here again. I assume that's how you pronounce your name. I assume that J makes a ye sound. I could be wrong. Probably completely wrong. Welcome back. Glad you're finally getting to sync up our time zones here, make this work. So anyway, on TikTok, Glenn Groovy Ideas there. He draws a lot of cool stuff. So you should go stop by and give him a follow. He used to draw a lot of cars. Now he seems to draw a lot of skulls and dragons on black paper, which is really cool too. Stuff that I can't draw, that's for sure. There's my big boy toy. Nice. That's how it's pronounced in my language. What language you speak there? Yogurt. Man, Sam Hoover, you're getting all around. You're on both sides. You're on TikTok and on YouTube. That's interesting. How you doing, buddy? I don't really know how to draw mountains. Anybody know how to draw mountains? Somebody's got to know how to draw mountains. Mountains are soft. Tractors are hard. I draw typically harder objects because they seem to be easier to draw for me. But we'll see. There's got to be some similarities I can find, right? As long as I don't make this the focal point of the drawing, I think I'll be fine. Breaking the trees down here. Croatian, all right. Very nice. Well, I speak English. You probably figured that out already. That was a dumb attempt at humor. So, if you speak Croatian, does that mean you're from Croatia? There's my tractor. Nice. Yes, all right. Very nice. We got an international audience here today. I think Glenn's from Australia. Saw him in here earlier. Croatia. I'm assuming Sam Hoover's from the U.S. I think I knew that from before. 3 countries represented. Any other countries in here that's hiding out and not talking? It's fine. I'm just asking. All right, I'm gonna sharpen this pencil up a little bit. Do me a favor, go ahead and share this if you're on TikTok or YouTube. Share it with somebody. I'm trying to build this audience up here. The only way I can do that is with your help. So, thanks in advance. We're going to get into drawing grass again, aren't we? We are. Grass is ridiculous to draw, especially as much as it was on this page. We're going to try it a little bit. So yeah, I don't draw backgrounds too often, but really like the barn, really like the mountains. And I said, you know what, this is going to be one I draw the full background. I did one on a live the other day with a pickup truck that had a partial background. It wasn't a full background. It was just kind of like, I guess a quarter background you'd call it. And I just really wanted to draw this one. So this is my first one I'm drawing live with a background. And, you know, anytime I do something new like this, got me a little nervous. But I've drawn a few backgrounds offline. I just normally screw them up and then have to redo them. So you might get to see me do this twice here. We'll see. And I'm just trying to find some darker spots here. We're not putting much detail into the mountains. I just want the mountains to be there. I want to put a little more detail into the barn. And there's going to be a heck of a lot of detail in the tractor. So we're at. Don't know if you follow Rally, but we're hosting WRC 2022 right now. I don't follow Rally, but that sounds really cool. I've always been intrigued by it. I've just never followed it. Very cool. I think the only experience I have with Croatia is from watching the TV show Below Deck. Looks beautiful, I'll say that. But that's, I'll be completely honest, I did not even know it existed before that TV show. Thanks for drawing this. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends I'm drawing it. Share that YouTube link. Oh, I'm trying to grow YouTube so bad, and it's growing. It's just real slow. It's a very tough market to break into. I knew that going into it, though. TikTok's much easier, but it doesn't give as many options, and I really like the options that they give on YouTube. You know, for multiple cameras and that type of stuff, it really helps with the art world here that I'm trying to develop. So I've always been a huge problem with grass. Just get a bunch of little lines that look stupid. Maybe it's because I use a pencil when I draw. You know, here's the trick, right? Just draw one angle that way, one angle that way, and one angle that way, and they just kind of repeat. 3 angles, that's all it is. Layer them over top of each other. I like to put a little bit of white in there too. You don't have to, but the white really helps. And then once it's done, you know, we'll get the blender here now. I'll show you. When you're done, you just do kind of little strokes with the blender, straight up and down, and it adds just another layer. And grass is really easy to draw when you just do it that way. Just like that, right there. And that section of grass will look good when I get more grass around it. So if you have a blending stump that's a little dirty with some charcoal on it already, you You can kind of turn it as you go, and you get a little dark and light, and it gives you a little more texture. The key is not making straight lines. You gotta have a little curve to all the lines. That's the real trick to grass. And then when you get a little further away from the camera, you're gonna smudge it out more so that you really can't even see the blades. Hey, there's Glenn over on YouTube. Welcome, buddy. Gotta get going. I'm actually going to till with that Massey. Alright, well, that's cool. Thanks for stopping by. Very glad to get into the tractor portion of this drawing because that's my strength. Soften this ridge, this tree line right here just a little bit. I'm liking the way it's turning out though. I think that'll look good once I get the tractor on it. It's kind of hard to tell where it's at. Welcome. I'll be back. I'll be here a while. This one might turn into a two-part episode. There's a lot to draw here. We'll see. Only 18 minutes in, tough to tell where I'll be, but okay. Thanks for the likes over there on TikTok, guys. Appreciate that.
or stop by and say hey if you're in the comment section. I'll try to interact as best I can with you here. How's everybody doing today? I don't know about y'all, but it's kind of a beautiful Saturday morning here. A little windy, but I don't think it would be spring in Nebraska without wind, right?
Around, what's your favorite tractor? So bottom corner of my screen, it's 1952 Farmall Super M. That's my favorite tractor. That was my dad's tractor, and I grew up around that tractor. So that's absolutely my favorite tractor. When my dad passed away, we went and tractor pulled with it. It's his tractor pulling tractor, and on the track while we were there, I spread some of his ashes from the seat of his tractor. It's kind of just a special moment. So that particular 52 Super M is my favorite. Good question. Around some smaller villages, the most popular tractors here by far are Yugoslav MITs. Interestingly, since you're doing a Massey now, one of the most common models is a licensed copy of the Massey Ferguson 35. That's cool. Very cool. I'm definitely finding out that there's a whole different world of tractors out there that I have no experience with. Most of them fall in the European market or other markets overseas. I follow some guys from India on Instagram, and they've got some crazy stuff going on there with the world of tractors. I'll say that. So, kind of neat. Okay. Before I go too far, I want to get this brush guard in here. Just checking my comments feeds. I can see a two-wheel drive MIT 577 out my window right now, actually. Oh, that's cool. I have no idea what that even looks like. That's cool. Looking out my window, I see grass. There's nothing out there. No neighbors out this morning. A lot of wind. Everything's blowing around, but that's about it. So my dad's tractor I kind of adopted as my logo to an extent. It's used kind of on all my social media together so that people can definitely tell it's me. Appreciate you guys hanging out on YouTube today and watching. So it's cool to see that channel start to grow. Got a long ways to go, but it's definitely a good start. So, all right. think I'm going to go a little further before I blend. Normally I'll blend as I go, but I'm just feeling like I want to kind of do all of this at once. I feel like it'll turn out better on this tractor if I can. So we'll see. Start on the wheel now. Background looks pretty nice. It'll look better as I go too. Pretty sure of that. Right now I've left it kind of out of focus on purpose, with the intent of just coming back to focusing on the tractor. That's what I really want to do. So I left it sort of out of focus to an extent, and that doesn't always look great until you get the thing that is in focus done. So I like it so far too. I don't do too many though, because it kind of takes a lot out of me to do these backgrounds. I like doing them, but they're just so time consuming, and I mean, time's something I have right now, but it's not something I always have. So. Hey, what's up, Roper? How you doing, buddy? Happy to see you doing some backgrounds lately. Yeah, it's out of character for me, but something I just felt like doing. I didn't really actively choose to do backgrounds. I just found pictures that I really wanted to draw the background of, and I started doing them. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad to see you in here again. Get some of my regulars to stop by and say, hey, start knowing a little bit about them. It's pretty cool. Like a little community almost. Thing's starting to turn out good. I draw mostly cars and such, but I did a Fendt Favorite 800 once. Might just do a New Holland or something when I can. Thanks for the inspiration. Oh, you're welcome. Hey, send me a picture of it when you're done drawing. I love seeing other people's drawings. Yeah. So yeah, send me a picture somehow. That would be cool.
keep the bottom a little bit blurred here for the moment. I'm going to come over that with some grass blades in just a minute.
What did I miss on there? Oh, I don't see anything. Doing good. I just like you doing backgrounds. They add more character to your drawings. They do. I know they do. I just don't really like doing blades of grass for hours. Looking fantastic. Have to go now. It's almost 1 a.m. in Australia. Alright, yeah, get some sleep, buddy. Look forward to seeing your next live. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. These ones with backgrounds do end up looking really good when I do the time-lapse video. I don't know, it's really cool to watch you draw grass really fast. It's not really fun to watch it right now live, but for some reason y'all still here. I went a little further than I need to go. Most of this will be covered by a mat, so I don't really need to draw that, but I did. So, and doing some white in here just because the difference in the shading. Also, I'm gonna do a few little sprigs over top of the tire here. Sharpen this. I need a sharper point to draw grass, otherwise you get weeds. Wide grass. I don't want that. Can you send me a copy of the finished result? I can email you or send you on Instagram a copy for sure, no problem. Thanks for sending the drawing there, Sam Hoover. Appreciate it. This reference photo. It's a good one, real good one. Send an Oliver too. I don't think I'll be drawing the Oliver. It was a good picture, but I recently drew an Oliver that was pretty similar, so I don't want to burn myself out with it. Had a really interesting one sent to me last night. It was an international. I don't know exactly what model, but it was missing the grill, right? And it's not something I would normally draw, but the background on it's something that's like, well, I'd really like to draw this thing, so I think I might end up drawing it. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. No problem. Glad you like the pick. I do like the pick. Very easy to draw off of, I'll say that. You got good lighting, you got good, good contrast. That's the two things I look for when I'm starting to draw, because 90% of whether it's going to turn out or not is me picking the right reference photo to work off of, and this was a good one. So. Oh, so much grass to draw. Well, that section turned out pretty good. We're about ready to move on to the next section. I got some tracing paper here down so that I can move my hand freely without fear of smearing. I'm just going to move that over a little bit so I can work on the next section. The next section is probably the engine. Yeah, let's do the engine and the hood right now, and then we'll come back and do more. Engine and hood. I guess I can do this section up here of the mountain. Probably should have drawn these mountains all at once. I feel like if I did that, I would just irritate myself really badly. So. Just so much at one time I can deal with backgrounds, so I'll mix it up by putting some tractor in there too. Okay. I'm just trying to get the basic shapes of the stuff on the mountain. It's not, I mean, there's no real secret to this. I'm just getting some coal down, really, and some unique shapes that might show up good. And then I'll take a blender across there. I'm just trying to skip around a little bit here so I give some texture. So some stuff might not even get fully blended. It's just some stuff's getting blended twice. I just want some layers that kind of look like maybe there's some trees up here or something. Something. That's all I'm going for, is something. Not even something good, just something. Like I said, it's out of focus. There's not a lot here. If I get some basic shapes. There's a field on the mountain, on the side of the mountain here, I think. Originally I thought it was the roof of a house, but when I look closer, I'm pretty sure that's a field. It's up there. I want that to kind of stand out because that's a detail that the owner would notice, I think. That. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, let's move on to the hood. Putting some more white in this just to brighten it up a little bit, even though we finished it already. Just need a little bit of something. Here, there's a little curve up of a white reflection. That's here too. Kind of faded out, but it's there.
darken up the bottom of this a little bit. Kind of curves in, so I want to make sure that's represented here a little bit. That'll look good once it's up against the engine that we're going to draw here in a minute. I'm going to sharpen this pencil quick. Which pencil is this? That's not the pencil I even want. I don't think. Which pencil do I want? That is the one, ain't it? Yeah, that's the one. We'll use this one. Had internet problems. Oh man, that's no good. Glad you're back. You didn't miss a ton. Just working through it. All right, 42 minutes in to drawing this. Shading it, I should say, because I drew it the other night. And we're about a quarter of the way done. This might end up being a 4-hour drawing. If that's the case, it'll probably end up going to 2 sessions. We'll see. See how I feel. The worst part of drawing that long is your back starts hurting really bad, so I'm going to try to avoid that some. I'd like to see what I end up drawing. Could you let me know what your Gmail is? I'd love to know what you think. Yeah, it's Clem from the bunker. It's like Clem, my name, CLEM, from the bunker at gmail.com. And I think most of my social media have a link to a Beacons website that has all that information in it also. A lot of grass to draw in here too. I'm going to end what I'm drawing right here for now. We'll do the rest of this once we get back here. And that name Clem from the bunker goes back to my original TikTok channel, Jokes from the Bunker. It's a comedy channel that I had for a few years. Got a ton of followers over there. But currently shadow banned, so I'm not spending any time on it because nobody gets to see whatever I do anyway. So I try about once a week to see if I got any traction yet, but lately it's been nothing, so I've kind of given up for the moment on that channel. Alright, engine compartment's ready to blend. Where'd my blender go? There's a good blender. Hey Sam Jones, how you doing? Keep jumping back and forth, you're confusing me. Yeah, whenever I draw something for somebody, I'll send them a digital scan of it for free. Doesn't cost a thing. If I picked your drawing, it's the least I can do for using your reference photo. And then if some people want the actual hard copy of that I'm drawing right now, and there are options for that. Normally it costs about $30 in shipping and handling and fees to get it to you. So I just ask that you tip me at least that $30 to get it. And if people don't want it, that's perfectly fine too. There's no pressure. Just give them the option. And $30 is nothing. I mean, I'd say it's probably worth more than that. I've definitely had people pay a lot more than that, but that's kind of the bare minimum, just to help people out and give that option. So, sharpening again. Shading's really nice, thank you. Out of everything, I think that's what I really thrive at the most, is the shading. The actual drawing is okay, but the shading is where it's at for me. Alright, so our shadow is going to be right about here, so that's where a lot of this is going to be pretty dark. A few little white streaks in there, but most of it's going to be black. Let's sharpen this one. Getting that fat grass again, it's not good. Is that a Fendt Tri-6? No, it's a Massey Ferguson 150 model from Tennessee with a mountain behind it.
for John Deere 7510, if you run out of other things to draw, go ahead and email me or hit me up on Instagram DM with a picture of it. No promises whether I draw it or not, but I look at everything that comes into those two. If you go into my TikTok profile, there's a link there to a Beacons website, and all of my contact information is in there. So feel free to send it. I'd be happy to look at it. Though for some reason, when I draw John Deere's, nobody shows up to watch. What's up with that, y'all? I thought Deere people were like loyal and stuff, but nobody shows up to watch. My best video is a Z28 Camaro. It's not even a tractor. Should I switch over to muscle car art? Yeah, what's up with that, y'all? This live drawing of this Massey's doing pretty well. Maybe I'll just draw Massey's from here out. I don't know. When I called a Massey a John Deere in one of my videos, that went viral a few weeks ago. And by the way, I did that on purpose. I'm not an idiot. I know the difference between a Massey and a John Deere, but nobody looks at my videos unless I say they're something they're not. So that's why I called a Ford on a lake a Chevy on a levee the other day. When I finish this section, I'm almost halfway done. In about an hour. You ever thought about using a ruler while drawing? I found like using one in mine a lot. Unless, of course, it's not a good idea with charcoal. Now, I've used rulers in the past. I don't know. I don't know why I don't. I have a French curve here that I use quite often in the outlining process, but I don't know. I don't know why I don't use a ruler, because I was actually trained as a technical drafter. You know, drawing houses and parts and machines and whatnot. That was my background, my formal training through a career Votech program. And I use rulers and T-squares and everything constantly in that, but I just don't in this. The only time I've ever really used a ruler is if I put a border on a drawing, which is something I used to do and I don't anymore. I used to border my drawings, you know, with a line around them, and I just don't do that anymore because I've been framing them with a mat, photo mat, and it just seems like that does a better job than the hand-drawn borders. So. Y'all tired of seeing me draw grass yet? Because I got that much to go yet. I'm tired of seeing me draw grass, and I'm not even watching. This is why I don't do live backgrounds, y'all. This one's going quicker than I thought, though, because I did a hayfield with a Oliver 1755, and it took about 8 hours to draw that. This one's not going to take 8 hours. This one's actually turned out just as good too. I think I've just sped up a little from my old self. So. No, not just Massey's. It's really very cool. My dad's an architect. Well, that's cool. I thought about doing the architectural thing. Actually, my middle school guidance counselor, you know, they asked you, what do you like to do? And then they tell you what job you should do with that, right? Well, the job I told him I wanted to do is I wanted to draw. I wanted to be an artist. And he said, well, why don't you be a technical drafter? I'm like, what's that? And he's like, you get to draw pictures all day. I'm like, that sounds amazing. And then after I got into the world, I'm like, this isn't art. You bait and switched me. This is awful. And now I'm doing the art for fun, and maybe someday I can turn this into a full-time gig, YouTubing and arting. That would be cool. But for now, I get to do this for fun. I was afraid there'd be a big difference between the two when I just drew there, but you can't really tell where one started, one stopped when I was shading. So I sent the 7510 on Instagram. Nice. I'll check it out after the stream. That's turned out pretty good, y'all. All right, I'm gonna take a quick drink break. A little water. And I'm back. I'll go ahead and move this over. I didn't give myself much space over here. What's next? I don't want to cover that. I'm going to have to get creative here with my tracing paper. Fold it under a little bit so I can move it over here. I don't want to screw up this barn, but I also want to do the barn. So let's go to half the barn right here. How about that? Okay, do the same we did before. We'll start at the top, mountain. A tree there. I want to avoid. I didn't sketch it in, but it's there. I'm just going to put a base layer of white down everywhere up here. And we'll use our charcoal to be the difference. That's not the one. This one. I'm going to sharpen it quick. Side of this mountain's got a shadow going down pretty far here. I'll blend it over to that side a little bit, just like that. A few little specks in here and stuff, and then do something like that. Can y'all tell it's a mountain? From there? I can tell it's a mountain from here. Probably haven't heard of them. We have a tractor company here too. It's called Hittner. They are small tractors for vineyards and skidders. I have not heard of those. That's cool though. Very cool. Learning about Croatia this morning while drawing a tractor from Tennessee. All right. mountain. It'll look better once you're done with the rest of the mountains, I reckon. The goal is to not even make them show up. Just be like, hey,
there's a tractor scene. Oh, cool. Look, there's a background. Is that a mountain?
Of course it is. That's cool. Yeah.
This is another one of those drawings where I think it's actually going to look better. It looks better in person than it does on screen. So after I do some color correction to the video and repost it, it'll look a lot better than it does right now.
What's up, IH man? How you doing?
Thanks for stopping by.
Sakari.
How you doing, buddy? Did I get your name right this time? Hope I did. I tried.
Whenever I draw, I look at all my drawings so far and think, how cool is it to collect these drawings? I have them for years.
That's pretty cool, yeah. I look back through some of my older ones too, and I have a little bit different technique. When I look at my old ones, most of the time, like, oh, look how bad I did there. Because I'm my own worst enemy. There's no doubt about that. Like, I'm a huge critic of my own work. It's not fun. So sometimes I just got to get them out of my sight because they're so bad. This is what it is.
Drop the blender. Got it. What's your personal favorite tractor? It's the bottom left of my screen. It's a 1952 Farmall Super M. That's kind of specific, but that was my dad's tractor growing up, so that's my favorite. Alright, I I gotta find all these little doodads and stuff here to try to shade these tires right. I think I did the wrong thing here. I think this was supposed to be a little bit darker. Okay, next bar up. I'm sorry if I talk too much. I never really could just keep my mouth shut. No, you're fine. It beats me sitting here talking to myself. I'll say that. I appreciate when people interact. Sorry if I don't get to interact as much as I should. I try to keep up with my comments as best I can. Get to draw this barn soon. Looking forward to that. I really didn't even know why. I just really want to draw that barn. What pencil set would you recommend? Well, if you're just getting started out, just get some basic pencils. I like if you're doing charcoal, the two pencils that I would heavily recommend is just General's 4B charcoal. They're pretty awesome. And then for the white that I use, if you want to use white, I use the General's 4414 charcoal. That's really all you need, and then some blending stumps, a good sharpener. For the blending stumps, there's a couple different types. These are like compressed, and these are rolled up paper. You can even roll your own paper if you want. Not much to it. If you're going with graphite instead, because you know the charcoal can be real intimidating and hard to work with to start with, just get something basic. Once again, General's brand. I like the softer ones. It's a 2H. The H is hard. The B, if I can find one, there's HB. It's right in the middle, hard and soft. And then I don't have any softer charcoal or graphite pencils out here right now, but really, any pencil will do. I'm not being picky here. I'm using a Primo HB here at different times, and using General 4B. Don't spend a ton of money. Just get something cheap to start with, and just practice. You want to get something cheap so that you can practice a lot. And that's a nice thing with these. Even the expensive charcoal pencils are only about $3 a piece or so. So there's not much to it. If you want, just grab a regular number 2 pencil. That'll get you started also. It's just learning the technique, the blending, the smudging, all that. That's what it's about. So, what's blending? I've been interested in getting charcoal drawing, but I know nothing about it. All right, I'm about to show you. So after you get everything kind of set in here, you take a blender, right? And this is what turns an average drawing into a great drawing. You're going to take this blender, and it's just a piece of paper that's rolled up or compressed paper, and you're just going to blend and smudge. So you're just going around here, and you're kind of smashing the charcoal into the paper and blending it together, using different pressure as you go. So we're blending right now, or smudging, whatever you want to call it. I mix up what I call it sometimes, call it different things. You're just basically taking and blending all that together so that it looks consistent and natural. That's the goal. Makes sense? And for all intents and purposes, you just take a regular piece of paper, roll it up, or use a Q-tip, use your finger. I wouldn't recommend using your finger long term, because the oils from your finger get onto these drawings when you smudge it like that, and eventually they'll just kind of deteriorate. So, but you don't need much of anything. Blending's really only needed if you're going for like an almost photorealistic look. If you're just going for like a sketch drawing, it's completely unnecessary. But there's different ways to do it with crosshatch and everything too, where you don't really blend. I like to blend because it's just my style of drawing. Not everyone does. That's fine. Everybody's art's different. Do your own thing. Learn what works for you and work with that. I used to only work with graphite because charcoal was too intimidating. And you can still blend graphite. It just doesn't blend quite as smooth. But that's it. Alright. Moving up, I'm going to go to this fender here. I think it actually goes all the way here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, you're quite welcome. Very welcome. Any other questions? Feel free to ask. I like sharing. You know, there's no real secrets in what I'm doing. It just I really like drawing. I like to inspire other people. It makes my day when somebody sends me a picture. Hey, I drew this because you inspired me to draw it. That just makes my day. So. Something funky there. What's funky on that? Maybe I need that. There we go. That's a little better. I think my, for some reason, my fender got a little too high there. And then here. Keep it dark under this fender. Do something like that. That's more gooder. Getting better. What I've sketched in the past, my proportions always end up getting out of whack. So here's what I would suggest, right? Find a good picture that you can draw off of, right? And then print it out on a piece of paper you don't care about. And then take a charcoal pencil or a soft graphite pencil and color on the back of it everywhere that tractor is. Tape it down to a regular piece of paper and transfer it over by drawing on the front of it with a harder graphite pencil. It's called charcoal transfer. You can check that out on YouTube if you want. I've got a video actually how to do it too. Until you get your proportions straight, sometimes it'll help to just draw kind of tracing, or you can use tracing paper to get your proportions straight. Practice tracing and getting stuff like that until you get good at it. And then once you get good at it, trace less. And keep tracing less until you've got nothing left. So that would be my suggestion. I gotta do some stuff under here. I've always had the same problem with the proportions, and you know, I'm to the point now where I can draw pretty well without the charcoal transfer. I still use it though. You know, I don't want to lie and say I don't use it. I still use it quite a bit. If I'm working in high quantities, like doing a lot of drawings for YouTube or whatnot. This one here specifically, this is a charcoal transfer. It just makes things quicker, easier. I don't burn myself out, you know, worrying about the little proportions and stuff. So it's only cheating if you think it is. Some people would say my drawing style would be cheating if I used that, but honestly, I use it as a tool, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's my art. I get to decide what I do with it. So too many people are like art purists or art snobs that you can't trace, you can't do this, you can't do that. As long as you get a good end result that you're happy with, that's all that matters. There's artists out there that love their work that I can't stand what it looks like. It looks like somebody dumped SpaghettiOs on a canvas. But people love that. I don't, and that's okay. We don't have to love each other's art. You just gotta like your own art and be happy doing it. That's it. Do appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. An hour and 20 minutes in. And probably another hour to go, maybe. I'm going to try to do this all in one sitting, which is not something I expected. I'm almost done the tractor, so it might go faster after that, except for I've got all this stupid grass to draw. You know what's messed up is there's not even this much detail in the grass on the reference photo, so I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this grass. I do, because it'll look amazing when I'm done, but you can almost go crazy drawing grass, though. I'm assuming people have gone crazy drawing grass in the past. I'm about to. Somebody talk to me in the comments while I'm drawing grass so I don't go crazy. Hey, if you're still here, go ahead and follow me on TikTok if you're not already. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. And apparently Twitter and Facebook's still a thing. I'm over there too. Feel free to stop over and say hey. The big one though, YouTube's where my future's at, so please subscribe there if you don't want to miss potential future content. There's exclusive stuff that only shows up on there. So I would recommend getting subscribed to YouTube. I'm also, not gonna lie, I'm trying to get monetized. And the quicker I get to 1,000 followers and 4,000 hours of watch time, the quicker that can happen. So yes, I do have ulterior motives than to making you enjoy my work. I would also very much like to be a YouTuber someday, and it is what it is. So appreciate y'all taking the time to even consider that. I will, but I'm not on TikTok. That's okay. You get a better view on YouTube than anyone on TikTok actually has. So don't be jealous of the TikTokers, because you definitely got the better view. YouTube's where the future's at for me. This grass is turning out really good, y'all. Sigma male mindset. All right. I think I'm at the point where I can just finish the drawing. That'll be my last move. Get rid of my tracing paper. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to try to draw the rest of this mountain, finish the mountain out. Then I'm going to draw these trees, maybe the trees first. And then I'm going to move on to the barn, and then we'll move down to the garden, this little grass section here, and the rest of this grass. So. Trees. This mountain's a little foggier back here. What is tracing paper? It's a thin paper. This stuff, tracing paper, super thin. You can see right through it. That's what I had over top. So. You can see right through it. It helps. What I use it for is blocking out my hand from messing everything up as I move. And then, so you guys online can still see what I'm working on. while my hand can't mess it up. So I think a lot of people end up using it for other things, tracing, and you can practice drawing with that, or some drawing styles actually use it, but I only really use it as a tool to be able to see what's underneath of here without messing everything up. So that is tracing paper. Good question. Play me some mountain music. Yeah, this that'll be a good song to go over top of this when I finally. I will use that song when I finally do the time-lapse video of it. That's a good one. I like it. A little Alabama, even though this is Tennessee. It's like the Brad Paisley song. I'm playing some old Alabama while drawing mountains in Tennessee. Oh, wait, no, he's driving through Tennessee. Whatever. I'm going to put a little more leaves on these trees than what are here, because they don't look right just as sticks. Good enough. Okay. Drawing the barn. Barn is the reason I drew this entire thing, and I don't really know why. I think it might be this fence right here that I wanted to draw, but I really don't. I can't place why I wanted to draw this barn. I just can't place it, but I wanted to. My problem with most farm art that you see is people over romanticize the barn or the tractor or everything. I want to see the dirt on the wheels. I want to see, a little bit of, runoff here that, maybe it's a little bit of a dirty curtain hanging here. Most people would just cut this out completely and not draw this curtain that's dangling down here, but it's what's really on farms. It's part of farm life, dirt and grit. You want to see that. If I'm drawing, I want to see that. So anyway, I think that drew me into this one just because it's not, it's not a perfect picture perfect, Norman Rockwell scene. It's real. There's, real work being done here. There's a little dirt on the tires. There's there's a gate here that might have a slight bend in it. That type stuff. I've never seen a farm that didn't have stuff like that. Maybe a corporate farm. That's all for show anyway. You had a chance to listen to Jackson C. Frank. I didn't. I went kind of straight to bed last night after the thing, and I got up and started drawing, so I haven't. Rust isn't a thing in Hallmark movies. You're right. It's not a thing in most art either. I've seen some art. Specifically, I follow a few people that are over on Twitter that have beautiful, beautiful artwork. And what makes it set apart for me more than anything is the fact that it's a lady that draws in junkyard cars. So awesome. And yeah, I wish I could draw like her. She does paintings of cars in junkyards, and she paints rust. And I've painted rust or tried to draw rust a few times, and it's hard to draw. So I have utmost respect for her. I wish I knew her name. I could say it here. I just don't remember. remember it. I just once want to see a Hallmark movie where somebody, doesn't have their hair done and perfectly, and they're driving an old, beat up, mid-60s piece of junk truck that's not perfectly painted and all that. So that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Real Hallmark. Okay, I'm gonna put a sharp point on this pencil quick. I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna fill in between the gate slats here a little bit. Rails, whatever we call them here. I'll take my sharp white and I'm just gonna re-highlight in here all of this. Shades of brown wax pencils give it a nice flaky look when drawing rust. Maybe I've used the Prismacolor or wax-based color pencils, and I did draw a Minneapolis Moline that was rusty, and I used those. They turned out okay. It's just a tough texture. It's not really the color; it's the texture that's tough to get. So. I don't do too much with colored pencils anymore. I'd love to. I really love drawing with them, except for they take so much pressure that they end up just really hurting to draw long term. So to draw as much as I draw would be very impractical with colored pencils because I would just destroy my fingers. All right, I think I'm going to do this tiller here next, and then I'll fill in the garden and everything around it. There's not a lot of details in the tiller. It's kind of a big box. We'll highlight a few of the bigger details here. Like this shading around those axles, shafts that I drew in there. Something like that. I have to come down a little further with all this too. I didn't even realize. link this channel to a friend who might appreciate it for the drawing. I'm not sure he's into machinery at all. Well, I can understand that. There's been a few people that drop by that are not into tractors at all, but enjoy the drawing style. So definitely a portion of my audience is that way. Everything in here is like really dark. Seen a 72 Ford in a Hallmark movie once. To make it look old, they just painted it slightly more matte color. Yeah. Drives me nuts when they do that stuff. It's still perfectly, perfect body shape and all that. I want to see holes in the floor. And the only time you see something like that in movies, it's always the bad guy. Like, why is it the bad guy driving the 72 Dodge that's falling apart? And it's always, you think of the beginning of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Those type characters, it's always the ones driving the beat up stuff. And I don't know about y'all, but a lot of the people that drive beat up cars that I know are the nicest people in the world. Why we got that stereotypes out there that if you drive an old truck, you're a jerk redneck? I mean, there are a few jerk rednecks I know that drive old stuff, but whatever. Okay, I'm going to blend this out here and see what we come up with. Along with Jackson C. Frank, I recommend Dave Van Ronk. Great music too. I'll check those out. I'll check both of them out. Good stuff. I appreciate good music, different music. Get burned out a lot. I listen to music a lot while I'm working. It relaxes me, but then I'll run out of stuff to listen to. It's like, listen to everything I like. I ran out of other stuff, so. My 74 Ford doesn't have a single straight body panel on it, but I'm not a bad guy because the truck is green and white, not black. Well, there you go. Oh my. I got a 99 Buick Regal. It's beat up. I don't think there's a single body panel on it that's actually whole. It's either cracked or broken completely. all that. I get funny looks when I drive through it though. When you show up in a gold Regal that's just beat up all to hell with a beard, looking like me, people just automatically judge you. It's just how it works. So, all right, what's next? Well, we got the garden and we've got this grass to finish up. I'm gonna finish the grass. It'll come back to about here, right behind there. Then I got to figure out how to draw the garden. I haven't really thought too much on that yet. But I think now this has been my officially longest live stream that I've done where I'm drawing things. It'll be about 15 minutes short of 2 hours. I'm expecting about 2 hours will be done. So another 15 minutes or so, if everything goes well. Last time you seen Twister the movie? Oh, 3 or 4 years ago probably. Something like that. That's a great example. This is named Jonas, the evil guy. They all drive black trucks. Right? That's a movie though where they actually showed some beat up trucks, you know, for the good guys. That camper was a wreck. And then they wrecked a bunch of trucks. That's for sure. It's looking really good. I think you should do more landscapes with tractors. I think a lot of people think that. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I ain't decided yet. I'll probably still mix it up. Problem is, I like drawing tractors, not grass. Such a pain in the butt to draw. Hold up one second. I'm back. I wanted to see how far I actually had to draw. So yeah, I can cover this as long as I go to the edge of the barn. I've got it covered. So it's my mat that I put down in front of it. Bunch of beat up trucks and one badass new Dodge. A new 25-year-old Dodge now, right? But yeah, you're right. All right, the garden's gonna go right there. Extend this section down a little bit here, like that. Favorite part of that movie, when she's like, "Where did you get this beef?" She's like, "Oh, didn't you see my cows out back?" She's like, "No, I didn't." Oh, that's a great joke. Really great joke. Love that joke. All right, how do I draw a garden? I'm gonna start. I think I'm just gonna start putting down kind of a base of a white kind of line, and then I'm gonna shade it dark. So plow fur, right? That's what we're going for, is a plow fur. Plow fur. Just a squiggly line. It's not even a plow fur because we're using a tiller here. Just turned up dirt. More like it. I'm gonna do some specks through it. Probably should have continued my grass out to here. Let's do that quick. Won't take long. We're almost done. Didn't think I'd get this one done in one sitting, but I got it done in one sitting, so. I ran into my camera with my hat. Make sure I didn't screw everything up. Oh, we're good. Nice. Okay. All right. I'm thinking I'm just going to color over this dark. Right. We've got that white underneath of it, so hopefully that'll pop back out. Just going to go around here pretty close. We'll fill that in, and then we're going to add the texture for all of this with the blenders. Hopefully, it'll look like a garden. Worst case, it'll be great. When's your next stream? Goodness, I ain't even finished this one yet. Making me think that far ahead? I don't know, honestly. I have no idea when my next stream will be. Could be as soon as tonight if I get the energy up. Otherwise, it'll probably be next week sometime. I don't do too many streams on Sunday. They're normally busy family days. So. Holy cow. Holy cow, y'all. You see it? I'm seeing it. I'm seeing that dang garden come through. I'll put a rough edge on that garden because we're not Hallmark. You know, and we overshoot our fields a little bit. Hey, thanks for the roses there, 86 Ford man. Appreciate that so much. Your last chance to gift on TikTok. We're going to be wrapping this up in the next few minutes if you feel like it. Don't feel obligated though. Hey, if you go into my profile on TikTok, there's a bunch of links to my social media. And there's even a spot in there to buy me a coffee with a tip through PayPal. If you enjoy what you see, consider supporting me by buying me a coffee or two. Anyway, guys, I've really enjoyed this one. This one's turned out pretty darn good. I'm going to sign it. I think my best spot to sign it is going to be up under this tiller. I'm going to sign it under the tiller. I think that's a good spot. All right, let's throw that mat over top of it for a minute, and then we can close it out. There it is, y'all. My final product. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments quick, because we're going to be wrapping this up. We'll go right to there. Yeah, she turned out good. I'd like to know too, how much does your favorite local burger cost? Oh, I don't know, maybe $12 or so. There's a place here in pretty near where I live in Nebraska called Stella's, and that's my favorite burger, and it's probably about $12. It would be useful to know in advance because of the time zone difference. Yeah, I'll try eventually to get onto a set schedule, but as of right now, my schedule is, hey, I feel like drawing. All right, I'm going to draw, so. Maybe I could put out a email list or something at some point soon where you can request to have a notification of when I'm planning on drawing, so that you can get a little bit of idea. As the TikTokers say, I like it, Picasso. That's fun. All right, well, that's my stream, y'all. Appreciate y'all stopping by. If you ain't already subscribed, liked, missed stuff, followed, please do. And if you don't mind, go watch a few of my videos and like them. That would be awesome for me. Appreciate y'all's support, and we're going to grow this together. So I think it turned out great. The background complements the tractor really well. Yeah, that barn, there wasn't much I could screw up on that barn. Really like the way the barn turned out. So appreciate your support, y'all.